I'm talking about, with each of my guests, real-life American culture. This is not some bloated, overproduced mass media conglomerate. This isn't even polished. This is raw.
Welcome to Deep Americana.
I am here with Xanadu Zero, pseudonym, and we're going to talk about her life. And Xanadu has Lyme disease. Can you tell us how you got Lyme disease, Xanadu?
Lyme disease is kind of a catch-all phrase for Lyme, which you always get with a bunch of co-infections. You never just get Lyme. So everybody gets a different cocktail of illnesses when they get Lyme. It used to be transmitted by a tick, and I did get a tick bite, but it can also be transmitted in other ways, which is not publicized as much because that makes it even scarier. I got a tick bite about 16 years ago in my backyard in Los Angeles. So the myth that there are areas without Lyme disease is ridiculous. And so I've been sick since then.
How does Lyme disease impact your life?
When I got the tick bite, it was before Lyme disease had any publicity. So I knew I had a tick bite, and then time went on, and I got sick, but I didn't correlate the two things. And I started going around to doctors because I was so sick. And my story is echoed by almost everyone, but every doctor I spoke to dismissed me as being a middle-aged hysterical woman, or going through menopause, or wanting attention. And so I didn't get diagnosed, even though I got the tick bite 16 years ago, until about 6 years ago. So I spent 10 years in hell with everyone telling me there was nothing wrong with me. And that was, there really is no overestimating how traumatic that period of time was, including 2 years when I couldn't get out of bed. This sort of bleeds into your next question. It impacted my life basically by giving me a bunch of wisdom I never wanted, such as nobody loves you when you're down and out, you know? You think your friends and your family are going to stand by you and rally behind you when you hit the skids, but that didn't happen for me, and it rarely happens for anyone. Basically, it left me sick and completely alone.
That's terrible.
I know, it's really depressing.
I've seen that type of. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I've seen that especially. It's really rough. So. So with that, isn't Lyme disease? Doesn't it take? It can take a while before it's even able to be detected.
Unfortunately, there is no really good test for Lyme, and nothing is covered by insurance that's decent. So really what you have to do, if you have all of the symptoms, you can pretty well assume you have it. But what you really need to do to make a diagnosis is take almost all of the tests and then have a look at them all and see what they indicate. In my case, I had it so badly that even the conventional tests picked it up. But everyone's chemistry is different, and that doesn't always happen.
Right.
So, I forgot what your question was.
Well, okay, the question was, it can, because I was researching into it, and it's like you're saying, it can go very undetected, can it, for quite a while?
Well, what happens is when it's undetected, it sort of becomes a tumbleweed, because as it does damage in your you start getting secondary problems from the damage it has done.
Oh, wow.
And so it becomes a huge clusterfuck. It's very hard to divorce the Lyme and co-infections because they're all working. And the co-infections aren't as bad as the Lyme. It's just too confusing to say the names of everything each person has.
Right.
But at this point, my virus and bacteria numbers are really down low, and I'm mainly damaged. I'm mainly dealing with the damage that has been done, which there's really no way to quantify. You just have to feel your way through it pretty much by yourself, since doctors are as clueless as anybody.
Oh, yeah. I want to ask you about, have you read or looked at, apparently, I think we're about 6 months out from the cure for AIDS?
Did you say cure for AIDS?
Yeah, no, not Lyme, for AIDS.
Oh, for AIDS. Yes, I did read that. Yeah, that is fabulous. I was around when it started. It's taken, 35 years, 40 years for this to happen. So it may be that long for Lyme and the co-infections as well.
Is there, like with Lyme disease, is there progress towards some form of cure with that?
No, because only now is it becoming apparent how bad it is. I don't know if you saw yesterday that teen idol Justin Bieber just announced he had Lyme disease.
Oh, wow. No, I did not.
It's really sad for him, but really great for everyone else who is still fighting to be considered legitimate, as ridiculous as it seems. Most everyone still thinks you're making it up.
Right. It sounds like it's kind of treated like, I know a lot of people with fibromyalgia a lot of times are not treated credible with their disease, which is incredible.
Well, quite honestly, fibromyalgia is what doctors say you have when they have no idea what's wrong with you.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty much more of a symptom than an actual disease. People with fibromyalgia have a reason they have fibromyalgia, probably bacteria or virus, and if they were to be tested thoroughly, which no one gets because it costs you out of pocket thousands of dollars, they would probably be able to pinpoint more accurately what was wrong.
Okay, that makes sense. So how have you gotten through having Lyme disease? Like, it sounds terrible.
Honestly, I barely did. At my worst, when I was abandoned and unable to get out of bed, and another symptom that's really disturbing is you can't concentrate, you can't think, so you can't really read, and you can't really watch TV, so it's like death in life. You're entombed in your body, which isn't functioning and won't allow you to divert yourself. So it was really awful, and I thought a lot about killing myself because I really didn't see any purpose in prolonging this existence. But I have a daughter. She's an adult, but I have a daughter, and I thought how that would ruin her life. And that's really the only reason I didn't. And then I just persevered, and I hate to say this because it's not very encouraging. I was able to borrow an immense amount of money, and I've used that money on every conceivable treatment that there is. Treatments don't work for any two people the same way, so there's no way to predict if something's going to help you. So what you have to do is just spend all this money going from one to the next and being your own doctor and putting together a program yourself, really. So that's what I did.
Well, with that sounds like a long road there, Xanadu.
It definitely is, and what I try and do now is denial is my friend. I try to not think about it because it's so bad, and when I tell people it's so depressing, they just sort of stare at me. So I'm trying to reconstruct my life, which is super difficult as an adult, and it's super difficult when you're still not feeling well.
Right.
And if I think about it, I get pretty sad.
I can imagine. How do you get around the mental aspect of all of this stuff?
Denial.
Just denial? Okay.
I smoke a lot of pot. I'm not being funny. Marijuana has been integral to my survival because what it does for me is it takes my focus away from my body and puts it in my imagination.
Right.
So I've been pretty much living in my subconscious for all this time, making friends like you on Facebook and participating in discussions. My entire social life has been online for years, and I'm trying to transition that. But the mental aspect haunts me.
I can imagine on that. I'm kind of in those transitions too because I end up putting myself naturally in a lot of isolation.
Me too. I'm that way naturally. So when the disease reinforces it, you're really in trouble.
Right. And then when you're sometimes very hard for me myself to get out and even communicate with people.
I completely understand.
And that can be really rough.
Yeah.
Is it okay if we shift gears here?
Sure.
I'm going to ask you about a few things. So you touched on smoking pot. I smoke pot a lot as well, which has helped me. I think it's almost a cure-all myself.
It's the best. It really is. I didn't smoke pot as a kid. I only started when I was sick.
I have smoked pot for probably the last 25 years. And
I think that's a good idea.
it is, especially, I think it's actually helped me with PTSD before we even had knowledge about it helping with that. And it very much does help with the imagination. Can I ask you, how do you feel about psilocybin?
Oh, you mean mushrooms?
Exactly.
Oh, the best. Mushrooms are... I don't want to sound like, some hippie enthusiast, but I've found mushrooms to be like pot squared. What they've done for me is, I don't know how this will come out sounding, but I feel a part of my surroundings and the world and life. And it calms me down.
It's interesting. One of the things that I've done over this past year is microdose a bit, but I have pretty severe social anxiety myself, and so I would take that, and I ended up going into these situations that caused me anxiety accidentally. And then I started to notice, after I did that once or twice with hallucinogens, that I may not master that situation, but I'm a little more, I'm able to go into it a bit more, if that makes sense.
It completely makes sense, and it's the same for me too, although mine, I wouldn't say mine is severe, but it's there. And I think that normalizing these drugs is going to help tons of people.
Yeah, I'll add this on top of that, and it's the normalizing, it's the pulling the taboo out, it's understanding addiction as a disease. There's a ton of factors here that we can better our whole world and our culture, I think.
I agree. Also, it seems that lots of cultures figured that out before.
Oh yeah, completely.
And that we've just lost it along the way.
There was, and I'm not going to remember exactly which country it was, but they, up till the 2000s, they were taking super hard stances on drugs, on every drug, and they actually talked to some scientists within their nation or what have you. And they reinforced the idea of the taboo being one of the driving factors that come into play for people with addictions or with the addictive disease. And once that taboo is out, their drug epidemic has not completely went away, but it is not as rampant or crazy there. And I think we are.
So just like with alcohol, you can use drugs and not be an addict.
Right.
It's two different things.
And I'm going to shift gears again here because we're going about 20 minutes here. Okay, and something else that I've been noticing, and if I seem a little nervous on things, it's because this is we've switched things up for material here. Have you seen, I think in the past, I'm pretty sure in the past 2 or 3 years, we've had U.S. military come out with videos of jet fighter pilots, with video following UFOs. And I think in the past decade, UFO sightings have spiked. What do you think about that?
Okay, I have a story to tell you.
Okay.
Cut this up, because I'm probably going to be too long.
That's okay.
About 15 years ago, I was writing a weekly column for an online news magazine. And mine was just features, and I had to think of new subjects every week. And I came across this actual rocket scientist who also believed in an intergalactic force of good. And it was really pretty wild what he believed in, and I thought it was kind of interesting that he was professionally a scientifically based guy, so I went to interview him. And we were talking about his beliefs of the intergalactic, but as that was going on, it was the time of the first mission to Mars, and there were fax machines.
Right.
As I was trying to ask him about, I can't remember the name of the organization, but it's still around. He was getting these faxes from his buddies about Mars and showing me these pictures they were faxing him. And I was absolutely shocked. I'll just cut to the chase. The pictures I saw were not Mars. Pictures of Mars are colorized. It's not red. It looks like Malibu Canyon. Parts are reddish. Parts are not. All along the landscape, there were these strange round blue rocks, and everything was just not like I had been seeing it on the news. He also told me that his buddies were telling him that there was totally water on Mars, and that they had found relics of what, I'm not sure. But I took this information, and when I went back out into the world, it was still at the place that, Mars is dry, there's no water, etc. And the guy had said to me before I left, watch, they don't like to reveal things all at once. They reveal them in steps.
Right.
So I was eagle eye on the news, and I saw, scientists think maybe there might be water on Mars. Scientists think maybe they see an indication that there's water on Mars. And I noticed as time went on, there were little baby steps towards now. It's being admitted that there's freaking water on Mars, and lots of strange things are happening there. And I thought, okay, well, that has just proven to me the point that the media lies to us.
Oh, yeah.
The second story
Okay.
His father was very, very straight and would not discuss UFOs. Just would not discuss them. And my ex told me that one night his father got drunk and confessed to him that everyone who has any significant missions knows that there are aliens and UFOs. And what happens is, what you do is you tell your immediate superior, and then your immediate superior is in charge of the information, and you forget it. Like you're never supposed to admit to even yourself that you saw it or spoke about it. And it goes the same way up the chain of command. So everyone publicly denies it, and everyone knows it's true. Okay, I guess that's the short version of that story.
Well, that's pretty amazing. I can concur with that. I think what we're seeing in a lot of things is slow steps of disclosure, which is I don't know, one of the ways I look at like movies, right, is that I can't say this to be the truth to everything, but I really feel like anything we see entertainment wise is really disclosure about something. Like we have these sciences, these things. And yeah, quite.
I also think that I don't know why people expect aliens to be recognizable. That just seems ridiculous.
Right.
To anthropomorphize aliens.
Well,
and who knows? There might be a million kinds. They might even come into our bodies and live in the spaces between the empty space in our body. You just don't know.
Well, exactly. And if you look at things like mycology, fungus, things of that nature, what we're finding, like over 30% of our bodies, our cells are symbiotic relationship with like a fungus or things of that nature.
Right.
And so, in fact, it's like, I believe you're very much correct on that, is that it's we're driven to see things that look humanoid, right? But it doesn't mean that's how that's going to happen.
Right. It's very egotistical of us to think that we are aware of how it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah, it's super egotistical. And I'm going to switch gears here and to one more question here, and then I think we're going to wrap it up, Xanadu.
Okay.
So you talked a lot about having Lyme disease and things of that nature. And I know for myself, suffering from PTSD and things, creativity plays a role for me hugely. Do you feel that
Sorry, what did you say after
PTSD, creativity plays a huge role for me personally on a day-to-day level.
Right.
Now, how do you feel about? Do you feel creativity plays a role in the healing process, or?
Well, unfortunately, as I explained, that you can't really concentrate and you can't really focus, and you get exhausted. So I am trying to whip up my creativity. I've had little bursts where I forced myself to try and do something, but it's been really exhausting and very frustrating. I've given up my dreams of forming a body of work that's meaningful because I have to. I can't be attached to any, and I'm just trying to get through the day.
Right.
Because my own PTSD will come and eat me up if I don't.
And I can understand that. I have completely. I have some pretty severe days at times, to where it is very, very hard. Let's see. That's it. Thanks for listening to this episode of Deep Americana. Share with others. Tell your family. Keep talking to each other out there. Peace, love, and Guns N' Roses.